Pleasant good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to What Does English Involve? Welcome to English for Everyone. Welcome you again to my channel, Writers Plus Academy. It's a place for everyone. If you are not a native speaker of English language, it is for you. If you're a teacher and you would like additional information for your students, it is for you. If you're a student and you'd like to learn more about English language, it is for you. If you're a parent and you'd like to help your students or your children, it is for you. So welcome everyone to English for Everyone. And today we're going to revise what does English involve? What does English involve? The last time we spoke, I reminded you or I told you or we went through what does English involve? And I say you can look on the board. English involves 5 components: grammar, vocabulary, spelling, reading comprehension, and creative writing. Sounds simple, right? Just simple. 5 components of English language. 5 major components of English language. Can we go them again? Grammar, vocabulary, spelling, reading comprehension, and creative writing. At the last class, I broke down each topic, what they involve, and I'm going to go through again quite slowly. Grammar. What is grammar? Grammar is a system of rules that govern how words are combined to form meaningful sentences in a language. So how words are combined to form meaningful sentences in a language. When you think about grammar, it involves 8 parts of speech. Grammar, 8 parts of speech. Let's go them slowly. 8 parts of speech. Nouns, pronouns, adjectives, adverbs, preposition, conjunction, which one I've left out, or pronoun, and interjection. It doesn't matter which order you say them in. It doesn't matter. There are 8 parts of speech. Now there are 3 articles. Sometimes you'll find them under adjectives or you can find them by themselves. 3 articles: a book, any book; the book, a specific book; and we use and as an article before vowels. But as you know, English language is a language with many exceptions. So you wouldn't say an university or an uniform, even though it begins with, even though uniform begins with a vowel. So there are exceptions. English language is one language that there are so many exceptions to the rules. Also on the grammar, you could have punctuations. Now punctuations, you have what is called end punctuation, like the full stop, the question mark, the exclamation marks. Those are what we call end punctuation, END. Now in this class, I'm inviting you to use your notebooks. So when I speak, you can write. And you have some inside punctuation marks, like the apostrophe, the commas, the semicolons, etc. We'll go through them. Then you have like capitalization, and that would come under grammar too. Capitalization has to do with the first letter of certain words. Words like your name, proper nouns, names, of important places, people, names of geographical places, like names of mountains, rivers, and all those. And for those capitalization, when you begin a sentence, the I and all of that. So capitalization can come under grammar. So let's go it again. Grammar, these are rules of how you combine words to form sentences. Sentences that make sense. Grammar include the 8 parts of speech. It doesn't matter which order you say it in. It can be nouns, pronouns, verbs, let me count them to make sure. Nouns, pronouns, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, preposition, conjunctions, and interjection. 8 parts of speech. So when you hear about grammar, when you hear the word grammar, remember parts of speech. Also included in grammar, there are 3 articles: a, the, and. The denotes a specific book or a specific box or a specific anything. Specific door, computer, the computer. So it's specific. 1, the. A book, a computer can be any computer. And an is an article that we use in front of a word that begins with a vowel. But as I said before, in English language, there are many exceptions to the rule or to the rules. On the grammar, you can also have punctuation. Punctuations are really marks, some signs, symbols. You have the end punctuations, like the end, like the full stop. Some people call it the period. Or you can have the question marks or the exclamation. And these are definitely most times at the out. You can have the exclamation inside. And as I said, there are variations. So they are not cast in stone. So there are variations. And, we look at those variations as we go along. Now, you have some inside punctuation marks, like the semicolon, the colon, the apostrophe, and so forth. We'll look at the outside ones and we will look at the inside one. Also, under grammar, you have capitalization, and that has to do with a big letter, because you have what is called the lowercase in English and the uppercase. The uppercase, the first letter of certain words, like names of countries, important places, institution, banks, all those, the first letter, just the first letter, is big. It's in the uppercase. The others are in the lowercase, or we call them common letters. And, all right. Now, so capitalization. So grammar is really about the 8 parts of speech, the articles, capitalization, and punctuation. Simple? Yes. All right. So, as I said before, that is grammar. And I just want to roughly, today we're just going to look at it again, vocabulary. Vocabulary has to do with words and word choices, the words that we choose. Now, the better words we choose, the better our writing, because the ultimate goal of grammar, of vocabulary, of spelling, is to master the writing skills and to master the comprehension skills. That's basically it. So when you do grammar, and spelling and vocabulary. Your ultimate aim to be a better writer, right? That's basically what it's asking you to do. Knowing grammar, knowing how to spell, and know spelling rules, and know vocabulary will help you to become a better writer. And I'm sure that's what you want to do. Be a better writer and be able to comprehend well. All right, so that's it for grammar. Let us look at vocabulary again. Vocabulary has to do with words, the word choices that we make. I could say the food tastes nice. That's okay. Some people might say nice means it. When I'm eating it, I'm enjoying it. But there are better words that you could use than nice. Maybe you could say it's delicious or appetizing. So vocabulary has to do with the choice of words that you use. So there are some words that we say they are better. Better adjective, better adverbs, better verbs, and better nouns too. Instead of saying something is over there or the thing is in the box, call the name. Instead of, I say, there's a red car outside, there's a red car. Say, look, the type of car. So we can use better nouns, better pronouns, better nouns, better adjective, better everything, so that our sentences can be better. So vocabulary would take in better word, better synonyms, antonyms, opposite. It will take in homophones, words sounding alike, but have different spelling and different meaning. And it will take up context clue, how the words used in sentence. It will take prefixes, suffixes, and all of those compound words. So when you come to vocabulary, the wider your vocabulary, so if you want to master English language, I would advise you to get a book, a small book, whatever, maybe it's a big book you want, and you write down words you come across, and you know how they are using sentences, and see if you can use them when you're talking to your friends and you know your peers. You can talk with them. So that's basically it. Now when you come to spelling now in English language spelling rule, English has many spelling different rules. You can spell words by syllabication, breaking them up in small parts and learn to spell them. Phonetics, listening to sounds and spelling them. We have a lot of variation. You would never know that like two combination of letters, PH has a F sound. So when you say PHO, when you say PHOTO, you wouldn't say try to pronounce that's photo or photograph if you want to spell it. Spelling has a whole lot of rules. It has hard sounds, it has hard sounds. There's some words that begin with hard sound or they have a hard sound in it. They some words they not just hard sound and soft sound, but some words they have to double the letter. Some have spelling rules like the IE and the EI before. So these words spelling in English language, some words there's no rules, you just have to memorize them. So there's a whole lot of spelling rules, and sometimes you look at CH, you see CH, it has three sounds. It has a ch sound like chocolate, then it has a SH sound, and it has a K sound, and so we have to know them. But I'm not going through all of these this evening. I'm just revising. I just want you to have an idea of what English language, what the subject English language involves. Then we have reading comprehension, and that has to do with your thinking skills, critical thinking. Not just reading a passage and recalling, but reading for information, reading to figure it out, to make inferences, to look at cause and effect, to identify main point, main ideas. So reading comprehension, reading is not just calling words. Reading means that you read a passage and you're able to understand what you read. You're able to paraphrase it or summarize it. And that again is another area. Whole lot of work in that area. But as I said, I enjoy teaching English. I enjoy working with English. And then I come to my favorite partner, creative writing. I enjoy writing stories and I enjoy telling stories. And this is one of the books that I have written on the market. It says the Right Workbook, Building Creativity and Imagination. If you want to become a better writer, this is a book for you. Doesn't matter, from at least 8-year-old, you can have a book like this. Now we're going to look at creative writing. Creative writing again has to do with word choices. The adjectives we choose and the verbs. If you want your writing to be good, just pack it with a lot of action verb. Flipping, jumping, scampering, all these words. Just pack your writing with a lot of verbs, right? Then you're going to look at adverbs. Don't do too much adverbs. I'll put in a few adverbs. Then adverbs, adjective, nouns. You can put in adjective, don't put in too much, and make sure your nouns are specific. Now, creative writing has to do with sentences. Now, the better you can use sentence variation. Now, in English language, most of us tend to use simple subject, simple sentences like Tom is riding his bicycle. Tom is a subject and is riding is the predicate. We're going to do all of that. But sometimes we tend to start with most times, or most subjects, most sentences tend to start with the subject. But we have to, if we want to create a lovely piece of writing, we have to start with, we can start with an adjective. Yellow and pink flowers were placed in the vase. We can start with nouns. Whether Tom or Harry, we can start with even interjection. We can start with different ways. So variation, varying our sentences will improve our writing. And then we look at paragraph. In creative writing, they talk about paragraphs, how we indent, and how we must have paragraph unity. That means we can't be talking about sports day and talking about the farm at the same time. Everything in the paragraph must be the same thing. Then we talk about in creative writing, descriptive writing. We use our senses, sense of sight, sense of sound, sense of sound, sense of smell, sense of taste, sense of touch. And we can describe. What is descriptive writing? It is writing that creates. Now, when I am speaking to you now, and you are looking at me, or you're speaking to your friend, you can use your hand. And they can say, I was at the party and it was so they have this, they can be looking and they're seeing the gestures and all of that. When you write, the person who is reading your paragraph or your story doesn't have that luxury to look at it, any facial expression or anything. So you have to paint a picture in such a way that the person can gleam or can, as if the person was at the party or at the competition or wherever. So descriptive writing helps us to paint pictures for our readers. Then we have narrative writing. Narrative writing is just telling a story, relating an incident. An incident that happened at school, at work, anywhere. You just, first this happened, next, then, just relate it. Then you have narrative, you have personal narrative that is about yourself. Narrative about other people that can be true as well as it can be fictitious. Then you have short stories. These short stories now, they are strictly fictitious and they follow a certain pattern. they have certain features, right? You have to have certain techniques to write these: dialogue, flashback, foreshadow, and you have to make sure you have suspense and you have your setting, your characters, and all of these, your plot. And see, these are special types of writing, and it takes time to master the skills of writing short stories. But let me tell you something. When you write a story, and when you're writing a story or writing anything, you don't have to write it one time. You can use what we call the writing process. So you can start it today, finish to a little tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and a week, and suit yourself. Then we have another type of writing that we call sitter writing. And that has to do with factual writing. It's about the writing that you use in school or work, the writing that you see most frequently. You see these writing. Every type of writing, the Bible, the Bible has some narrative and it has factual too. The Gleaner would have a whole lot of factual, it will have narrative too, but factual writing is everywhere. And then you have persuasive, which is persuading somebody to do something, convincing. Then you have letter writing, friendly letter, and business letter. And so this is writing, this is English, a mouthful, but that's English. That's all that English involves. The 5 components. All right. Now today, as I said, you will have to do some of the writing. We are going to look at grammar. Grammar. And we're going to write, let me see if I can draw a line here and see if I can get the parts of speech right here. All right, we're going to see if we can stick them in there. And we say parts of speech. This is where most people, most students, most non-native speaker will have the problem when it comes to grammar. That is where most of the problem will be. All right, so we have the nouns, verbs, pronouns, adjectives, adverbs, then prepositions, conjunctions, and interjections. All right, so there you go with the 8 parts of speech. And then you have the articles, and that is, you have the indefinite, which is we call that indefinite. So you have to take notes. Please take your notes. And then you have these are the main ones, and this one is definite. All right. Now we're going to look a little bit at nouns and As I said, I'm just breaking them up today, but we're going to be doing them again. All right, nouns. Nouns are names of places, names of animals, names of, sorry, let's go it again. Names of people, names of places, names of animals, names of things, and they can refer to ideas. So nouns, take the notes. Nouns, they are names. Nouns, names of people, names of places, names of animals, names of things, and they can also refer to ideas, and we call those abstract nouns. Nouns, I'm going to break them down again, but as I said, I'm not really teaching nouns today. I'm just going through them and just giving you the ideas, because grammar is where I'm going to be sticking to for maybe this class and a few other classes. But I will tell you which component I'm using each time. So I am at nouns. Nouns now. So I said nouns are names of people. Karen, Margaret, Susan. Names of places, Africa, Jamaica, Westmoreland, all of those. It's also names of animal, Bruno, Trixie, all those. Names of things, banana, basket, all of that. And abstract nouns, which you cannot actually hold with your hands, but they refer to concept, like humility, kindness, all of these things, justice. Now, when it comes to nouns, I told all of that, you can break out with nouns, where you can have, some nouns are called proper nouns, some are called common nouns. You have singular and plural nouns. You have abstract nouns, the ones I say can hold. You have possessive nouns. And then you have singular and plural, possessive nouns, abstract nouns. Let me see, let's go it again. Let's go it again. You can have common nouns all around everything that you see in your house, in your yard, in your home. These are common nouns. Anything that you see everywhere. These are ordinary nouns. They don't talk about anything specific. These are called common nouns. And concrete nouns are concrete nouns. So we have concrete nouns. These are similar nouns, similar. Then you can see them all around. And it's proper nouns, names of people, names of organizations, geographical places, all these places. Like speaking about religion, these are proper nouns. Names of books, proper nouns. We use proper nouns. So we're talking about nouns. So you have proper nouns, common nouns, concrete nouns, singular and plural nouns, collective nouns, which is a group of things. So instead of I say a lot of birds, and a lot of this, and a lot of that, a lot of puppies, you can use one word to refer to them. So you can say a flock of birds, you can say a fleet of sheep, you can say a team of players, and so forth. So you have what is called collective noun. Then you have possessive noun showing ownership, and let's go it again. A lot of nouns. Proper nouns. Come with me. Proper nouns, common nouns, concrete nouns, singular and plural nouns, collective nouns, possessive nouns, and maybe other nouns. But I'm just giving you, right? Because I'm going to break out eventually. Then we talk about verbs. This is where another problem. We have another problem with verbs. You have verbs. You have 3 kinds of verbs. Take your notes. Take your notes. 3 types of verbs. You have action verb, dancing, singing, skipping, jumping. Then you have helping verb. Mother was washing the clothes. Was, helping verb. Then you have another set of verbs. They are called linking verbs. They can sometimes be used as helping verbs. Jane is my friend. I am a girl. So these are just a linking verb. They link the subject to the object. They just link. So let's go it again. There are 3 types of nouns. Action verbs, helping verbs, and linking verbs. Now, verbs will cover a lot of things like tense, past tense, present tense, and future tense. Don't worry, I'm going to go through these as we go back. Then you have adjectives. These are words, they are descriptive words. And as I said, you can use better adjectives. Nice, appetizing, delicious, Adjectives now, that's another breakout again. They have different types of adjectives and how we use adjectives in sentences. We shouldn't use more than a certain amount of adjectives, which adjective comes first and which adjective, if we are going to be looking at that. But I'll just give you adverbs, different types of adverb. Most words that have ly, they're adverbs, not all of them. You have exception, words like friendly. It's not an adverb, it's a verb. Then you have preposition, show relationship. If it's outside, inside, underneath the table, up. Then conjunctions. These are words that join sentences, join words. They can join sentences in a paragraph, and they help you to link your paragraph, to connect ideas. Interjection, these shows expression, emotions. An article, indefinite, and the definite, the book. Now it's your turn. I am going to clean off the board and we're going to look at some simple sentences. And I'm going to see if we can identify the part of speech. Right. So you are going to tell me you're going to tell me the part of speech. And let's see if you can get them right. Right. And as I said, we don't have to always do grammar. We can do grammar, we can do spelling, but what is most important is that you know what component we are doing. So if I do something, you should be able to say, I am doing grammar. If I do another, you should be able to say, I'm doing creative writing. All right, before I go over to the activity, let me give you a little quiz and to see how much you would know. If I say, before I do the other activity, let me ask you this question. All right. Which activity best shows comprehension? A, copy words from the board. Spelling a word aloud. Answering question about a passage. writing the alphabet. So which component are you working on if you see that? Which component would you be working on? That shows comprehension. If I ask you what component you are working on, copying words from the board, spelling a word, if it's comprehension, which one would you be working on? Spelling a word aloud, answering question about a passage, writing the alphabet, and your answer should be answering question about a passage. All right? Now, the next one. What do we use vocabulary for? A, to decorate books, to understand and choose the right words, to count sentences, to write numbers. And anytime you hear vocabulary, it's about words. Which English component help you to learn the meaning of new words? A, grammar. B, vocabulary. C, spelling. D, comprehension. What English component help you to learn the meaning of new words? Grammar, vocabulary, spelling, comprehension, and that should be vocabulary. Which word, okay. What do we use comprehension for? What do we use comprehension for? A, making up stories, spelling words, understand what you read, writing letters, understanding what you read. So we must know, remember, English language involves 5 components. And every time you take up a book or every time you're going to do an activity, ask yourself, which component am I doing? Am I doing grammar? Am I doing vocabulary? Am I doing spelling? Am I doing reading comprehension or creative writing? Or am I doing a combination? Remember, English language has 5 major components: grammar, vocabulary, spelling, reading comprehension, and creative writing. Whenever you're doing an activity, ask yourself, which component am I working on? Am I working on grammar, vocabulary, spelling, reading comprehension, or am I working on creative writing? Or the next question, am I working on a combination of 2 or 3 of them? So look at that. That will help you. All right. Next one. All right. Next one, it says here, which sentence shows creative writing? The cat is black. Cats are animal. The cat quietly slept. The cat dreamed of flying to the moon. And that would be D, the cat dreamed of flying to the moon. Because creative writing is about using our imagination. One of the greatest gifts that human being has been given is the gift of imagination. Imagination helps us to take our minds to space, to build castles in the air. Had it not been for imagination, we would not have all these great inventions. So, another thing, if you want to be a good writer, spend a lot of time, not on television, but just using your thoughts to wander around. You know, taking your thoughts to space, taking the thoughts under the ocean, taking your thoughts all over the place if you want to be a good writer. Use your imagination. Think about things, analyze things, And the more you analyze creative in your mind, you'll become a better writer. Because the aim of English language is for you to become a better writer. All right, so we're going to go to the activity that I wanted to go through and see how well how well you can master language. All right, I'm going to write a sentence on the board. Sentence one. My red ball rolled away. Full stop. At the end of a sentence, full stop. Now, each of these words must belong to a part of speech. As I said, part of speech is a combination of words to make sentence or to make a sentence. So each word in every sentence that you write and I write, each word belongs to a part of speech. Each word belongs to a part of speech. Each word. So let's go. My, what's my? Pronoun. What about red? That's an adjective. I can shorten the form. What about ball? That can be a noun. And this one, roll, action. This one is a verb. What about away? What part of speech is away? My red ball rolled away. What part of speech is away? Remember, an adverb tells how the action is done. Roll away. So this is an adverb. Some can be short. You can shorten the word if you want. So my red ball. So every word or each word in a sentence belongs to a part of speech. Each word in a sentence belongs to a part of speech. So you have to know how it is used. So the way how the word is used in the sentence. So that's another challenge again. I'm going to lose some of them. If I say all right, I can sometimes use a roll of tissue, a roll. It can be a noun. So it's not just a word, it's how it is used in the sentence. How it is used in the sentence. All right? Look at this one. This is number 2. The boy jumps high. Full stop at the end of a sentence. Let us look at the board and see if we can identify. The. What is the again? That's a definite article. Right? The, specific. So this is an article. And sometimes you might find, in some cases, they might put it under adjective. Article. Boy. This is a noun. Jumps. Jumps. This is a verb. And it tells you how the action is done, and that would be an adverb. Number 3. I see a bird. Remember, each sentence, in the sentence, the words, they fall under one part of speech or the other. I, pronoun, see, verb. Remember it's an article. It's an indefinite article. And as I say, if you don't see article, you can put it on the adjective. Then bird, this is a noun. Number 4. I'm going to write a few harder ones. The happy girl sings. The happy girl sings. The article, definite article, happy, adjective, girl, noun, sings, verb. All right. So I'm going to move on to a few others. So every time you take a book and you're reading, remember that each sentence belongs to a part of each word. Whenever you're reading, remember that each word in a sentence, each word belongs to a part of speech. And remember, you don't have to get it right at all times. Writing is not about getting it right, but it's about keep trying, keep working at it. If you are not a native speaker of English, it can be difficult when you start, but believe, if you keep practicing, you'll get better at it, and you'll do very well. So I'm going to do a few others, a little more difficult. All right. This one, the cat, number 1, the cat sleeps on the mat. Let's go now, do this one. The article, definite article, cat sleeps, verb, on. What is on? O-N. That shows relationship between the noun in the sentence. Relationship between the noun here and the mat. Shows relationship. So this is a preposition. And then you have an article here. And then you have a noun. Good. Try to do it ahead of me. All right. Number 2 now. Let's see if we can do this one. E. Quietly placed his book on the small, let me put it down a little further, small table. Let's see if we can get that one right now. Remember, each word belongs to a part of speech. E, pronoun, quietly, this is adverb, and place, this is verb. His, what is his? This is pronoun. book. This is noun. On, preposition, shorten P, R-E-P. The, article. Small, adjective. Table, noun. Did you get all of that right? Correct? All right. Number 3. I'm going to do three more. See if you get them. All right. She quickly finished her homework before dinner. Remember, grammar is all about parts of speech, articles, punctuation, marks, end and inside, and capitalization. Now we are looking at parts of speech as they are used in sentences. And we are trying to identify each word, tell what part of speech these words, each one of them. She, pronoun. Quickly, adverbs. I said most words that end with ly, they're adverbs. Finished, this is a verb. Pronoun. Homework, and that's a noun. What's before? Before. Preposition. But there's another thing, And dinner, this is noun. Sometimes, as I said, there are exceptions to the rules, and also in English language, there are words that can be used as conjunctions and they can be used as prepositions. So all of those little finer details, we will look at them as we go along. All right, let me give you, this is 3, 4, let me clean the board, and we're going to do 3 others, and that's it. So, each time, I won't just do all grammar, I will tell you which component we are working on that afternoon. Please remember to like, subscribe, and tell your friends about those especially who want to learn English language. Introduce them to the channel, and remember, if you are a beginner writer or intermediate writer, this is a book for you. I'll place it so that you can see it. It's on Amazon. It's the Write Workbook, Building Creativity and Imagination. It has helped many students, and it can help you, parents, teachers, and students. So we're going to do 3 others, and then that's it for this afternoon, this evening rather. Look at this one. The one, curious. Boy, carefully. Opened. The old wooden box. Let's see if we can do that. I think that is a little near. Open, so that I can have space. Open the old wooden box. That's one. The curious. This is article. Definite article means the specific. The book. The boy. One boy. The. Indefinite. Any. A boy ran across the street. A boy. You don't know him. But if you say the, that's definite. The curious, so this is article, definite article. If you want to write definite. And if you don't see article, you can put it on the adjective. Sometimes they use articles on the adjective. If you only say the part of speech, and they just give you the sentence and say you're to identify, and the curious here will be adjective. Boy, noun. Careful, and this is adverb. Open, verb. The, and this is another article again. Old, adjective, and this is old, and this is wooden, and this is another adjective, and this box, this is noun. Number 2 in this section. The teacher explained. The teacher explained the lesson clearly and pay. Oh, they're too near. So let me clearly. Want to leave the space so that I can put it down. Clearly and patiently. Let's go now. The article, teacher, noun, explain, verb, the article, lesson, noun, clearly, adverb, and conjunction, patiently. You can just put the arrows. Patiently, and this is another adverb. The last one, number 3. After school, the children played happily in the large yard. Remember again, each word within a sentence belongs to a part of speech. Each word in a sentence belongs to a part of speech. And it's important that you know what part of speech each word belongs to. It's important that you know that. After, what's after there? After school, the teacher, and after, as I said, it can be a preposition as well as it can be a conjunction, but in this place it is a preposition. Preposition. School, that's a noun. The article, I know it's a little jumble. Children, noun. Played, verb. Happily, adverb. In, preposition. The article. Large, adjective. Yard, noun. Now, just a quick recap. This evening, we have been looking at what does English involve? What does English involve? And we say English involve 5 major components: grammar, vocabulary, spelling, reading comprehension, and creative writing. And it's important that when you are doing an activity that includes an activity that is about English language, anything to do with English language, that you first ask yourself, am I doing grammar? Am I doing spelling? Am I doing vocabulary? Am I doing reading comprehension? Am I doing creative writing? And that will help you to anchor the subject well. As I said, sometimes it can be grammar, sometimes it can be vocabulary, sometimes it can be spelling, sometimes it can be reading comprehension or creative writing. Or it could be a combination of spelling and vocabulary, creative writing and vocabulary, and sometimes, most times, you'll find them both coming together. Creative writing, vocabulary, right? But make sure you know that if you see synonyms or antonyms, anything like that, vocabulary. So if you can identify the component that you are working on, it will help you to anchor your work or your writing or your activity. After you have identified the component, we said that we looked at some of them under each heading, what would be involved. We say under grammar, you have the 8 parts of speech. You have the articles, the definite and the indefinite article, and you can have the and, an, which comes before the vowel. We also say that under grammar, you can find punctuation, and you have different marks, the inside marks and the outside marks. And that will help you too, if you know the inside marks and you know the outside marks, and you know the ones that we use on a regular basis. Now, I will talk about capitalization, which is the uppercase, the big letter. When do you use the big letter, and when do you use it? When do you use big letters rather, and when do you use small letters? And we say that if you're writing someone's name, the name of an hospital or a organization, company, the name of a country, you use the uppercase. For everyday thing, ordinary things, everything is in your house, basically, or in your yard or at school, everything around campus, those are common nouns. Then, so that is for grammar. We looked at vocabulary, and we say vocabulary has to do with synonyms, antonyms, and all of that, prefixes. And we looked at spelling, the different rules, and we have a whole lot of rules. Long vowel, short vowel, hard sound, soft sound. You know, some letters you have to double, some you can, you have to break them up in syllables. Then reading comprehension, the different reading comprehension skills that will involve inferences, critical thinking, be able to analyze and all of that. That's comprehension. Creative writing, just write. Just write. Just write. You don't have to get it right at once. Just write. Now, I thank you for tuning into Writers Plus Academy. We write, and not only writing, but we do everything that will involve English language. It's a beautiful language, spoken and written. I thank you for joining us this evening, and I remind you, if you want to spend some time writing and you need the guidance, you can look for this book. It's on Amazon, The Right Workbook, Building Creativity and Imagination. Please subscribe to the channel and like. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you for joining us.